This darn tootin' Facebook keeps popping up things in front of me so I can't see. This is one of my favorites. I don't know much about it. It's got like some markings on the bottom. But I think this is one of the first patterns I showed in What's in My Teacup, maybe. And I finally decided, let me use the teapot. I've always been a little hesitant to use some of the antique teacups and teapots because I just don't know what kind of, like, what did they use for the glaze? What am I, is things leaching out into my water? Like, I just don't know. But from the little research that I've been doing, reading some of the antique books and stuff that describe this, I'm trying to get this to zoom in here, or to, yeah, to get focused there. From what I've learned is, so far I think it'll be okay to drink some of these things. They did use, like, I think they used mercury or lead in one of the processes when they put some of the gold on, but that it said that during the fire process in the kiln that would evaporate out and then like leave the color there. So anyways, this one's cool. I love the handle, nice and big, so I can actually get my hand in there. It's got a nice base to hold. And inside there is a little bit of a filter, and they have holes like right about here to filter out the leaf, the loose leaf tea that you would use probably back then. And I have tea bags in here today, and I'll share with you what kind of tea I have in here in a second. But what else I want to say is there's also, usually there's a hole at the very top. I'm assuming it's to let out steam, but I don't know why you would want to let out steam. I don't know. You usually want to keep the aroma, the essential oils in there. Some of those essential oils are volatilized through the steam, we call them volatile oils. And there's steam coming out here too. So I'm not really sure what those little holes would be for. It doesn't look like you could stick a spoon in there. So anyways, here it is, this one. And yeah, I'll tell you what's in there in a second. Oh, by the way, when I was pouring the hot water in here, I realized that I am probably the first person to put any hot water and make a proper tea in this tea kettle, teapot, for decades, because I know that these were sitting at the antique store for a long time. That antique store was very very old. Gosh, when did they open that? I'm not exactly sure, but it must have been for 40 years. I think that place was there somewhere around then, and there was lots of things in that place. Many floors of antiques, and many for a while a lot of those antiques just sat there for a while. So anyways, I may have been the first to make some tea out of this in decades. Who knows? Could have even been longer. I don't know. This is a pretty old teapot. Let me see if I can get you this is the matching cup. I have a little strainer in here because I need to use that for another thing I'm going to show you today. Here's the tea cup. I have shown this one in the past, but it's been a little while. So you can see the pattern there. That's the same pattern that's on the tea. There we go. That's on the teapot as well. I just love this pattern. It's kind of delicate. It's got different flowers on there and different flower patterns, different colors. And I know we don't always zoom in properly. It has to do with the lighting. But different colors on there. And the shape of the plate isn't 100% round. It's not a plate. It is a saucer. And then also inside there as well. Very pretty. On the outside, we've only got a couple little botanical things there. I wish that this would show you more clearly. And I love the handle, the swirly handle, and the shape of the edge is really cool. The shape of the outside of this teapot is cool. It's kind of got these like bulging things. So it just has a lot of different shapes on them. And the bottom does have a marking. Of course, it's probably going to be very difficult to show you. It's just the smallest little markings, like some numbers. I still haven't figured out what those numbers are. So that's the set I have. So I'm going to pour some tea in, just a little bit. And, oh, I don't have the tea box with me. This is a kind of tea. It's called Detox. It's by Traditional, no, it's by Yogi. Is it by Yogi? Yogi Detox Tea. Yeah, Yogi Detox Tea. I'm looking it up right now because I forgot to bring the box down with me. And I can see the ingredients here. So it does have dandelion in it. No, that's not the one. I know that I've showed this one to you before. Dandelion. What else is in this one? Let me just see one more thing. It's very light flavored tea. Everyday detox. Maybe that's the one. Yeah, it's very, very light, which is surprising because of the dandelion. Sometimes dandelion can be very bitter. So this is the traditional medicinals. It's just dandelion, mainly. Dandelion root. And then it has some fennel, peppermint, and licorice root, which I honestly can't really even taste. It's really interesting. It's just such a light tea. So what I want to do, and detox, usually the word detox in the herbal teas is they're talking about supporting the liver, because the liver is our detoxifier, our filter, and so the liver is already doing it, detoxing for us, taking things out of our system that our body doesn't need. It doesn't need every single thing that we put into it, and it can help filter things out. But also this idea that we need to support the liver, because if there's too many things that we're putting into our system that may be not good, like we can do in our American diets, then maybe it's working a little too hard, and we maybe need to help support it and give it a few days to kind of not work so hard by giving it a little bit of a rest or a cleanse, in terms of just giving our body really good things that our body doesn't have to push through the liver so much. So the other thing I am sharing here with you is, Conita says the holes help release pressure. If not, the lid would clank. Yeah, clank or crack maybe. I would just assume that where you pour the water out, that would be enough to let the steam go. But anyway, okay. So what I'm showing you here, I will be sharing this recipe with you because in the last, I've been starting to send out botanically inspired gift giving ideas. So in my general newsletter that I send out mostly on Fridays, I'm sending out also a PDF that you can print and download and keep with a recipe that you could potentially give away as a gift, since we are coming up on the gift giving season for many different religions and spiritualities and cultures and things like that. I thought it would be fun to have some ideas of what you could gift people. You certainly can gift them to yourself as well, but this is going to be one of them. Now this is honey, ginger root fresh, and lemon peel and lemon juice. So both, all of it's in here, and I tried to keep track of how much of each thing I was putting into this, because usually I'm just, I'm not really measuring, I'm just putting things together for myself. But then I was like, well, maybe I could share this recipe with people too. So I'll give you, a general recipe for this in the next newsletter. Maybe this next one, it'll come out, or in 2 weeks. We'll see which one will come out. I'll give you a general recipe, but for the most part, it's a fairly forgiving process in terms of if you put a little too much honey or too much lemon juice, you will know, and you can do it by taste. So one of the things I like to do with this is add it to my tea. So that's just what I'm going to do now. And it gives it, of course, the sweetness from the honey. The ginger gives it flavor and also kind of that spiciness. Ginger is so good as an antioxidant. And the lemon is the tangy flavor, and also has its own vitamins in it as well. So yeah, I just put a little bit in my tea, and I'm dripping this honey all over the place, of course. Good thing I have this saucer. Let me use that. Put that over there. So I'll be giving this recipe to you. I keep this on my counter so that I remember to use it, for one. And if you put it in the refrigerator, it will thicken a little bit, but with the lemon juice, it will help keep it more thinner so that you can use it. And I just strain it as I need it. But again, I'll give you all those tips and tricks for that. I don't even have a name for it. It's just lemon ginger honey. I don't know what to call it. Honey, herbal honey. Some people call them herbal honeys. It's tangy, it's herbal, it's sweet, with a little bit, just a hint of warmth, spice in it from the ginger. So the other thing I'm going to give you as a recipe in the next couple weeks is how to make this herbal water. I did share it on Facebook post a while back, and people were like, what is the recipe you use? Again, I am just pouring things into my water, and now I'm trying to get a recipe, like just give you a general recipe of how to do it. But basically what's in here is aloe vera juice, fire cider, one of my fire ciders, a lot of water, and also, what did I put? I put that ginger honey that I just showed you. I put a lot of that in here too. And then I make a quart jar size of it. Got to stir it up once in a while because there is some sediment in there. I make a quart size jar of it and keep it near me so that I remind myself to stay hydrated. I don't want to just make a little cup of it because, you know, it takes, what did I say, like three different jars of stuff that I have. I have to get those out and make it, and rather than just make little cups of it, I just try to make my daily amount that I want to drink for the day. And so I just keep it with me along with my tea, and today I have decaf coffee. I have 3 things that I'm drinking, but it really keeps me hydrated. It gets me those my herbal dose in there as well. Fire cider has so many benefits too that I've talked about in the past, and the aloe vera is very soothing to the internal system, to the digestive system. The honey, the lemon ginger honey has its benefits, and the lemon ginger honey actually helps me hide the flavor of the fire cider. The apple cider vinegar, which is not my favorite. Apple cider vinegar is very good for your system too, for a wide variety of things. And yeah, it's really good. It's got a little spice to it and sweetness to it. It's got like all of the different flavors. So the apple cider vinegar and all of the herbs in there, and then, you know, it has to taste good for you to want to drink it. So for me, I love sweet things, so the honey helps me with that. So if I have a sweet tooth, like I do sometimes get in a certain time of the month, I want a lot of sweets, but it's a lot of calories, it's a lot of sugar, and I'd rather avoid some of that, the sweet snacks that I want, and that can help me curb that desire to go find the next cookie, cake, chocolate bar. So, and keep me hydrated. Give me nutrients, vitamins, antioxidants, things like that. So there you go. I have the tea. I have the herbal honey, the herbal water, and again, I'll be sharing those recipes with you in the next week and 2 weeks coming up. So if you're already signed up for my newsletter, just watch for it about every Monday, and that's when I usually send it out. Email providers are trying to do pleasant things for us. They're trying to keep spam out of our inboxes, but they're also inadvertently pushing things that we want into spam folders, into promotions folders. So if you're not seeing my emails regularly, and if you're finding them kind of put in different categories, like Gmail has these different tabs, and I find things in the promotions tab often when I don't really look in that tab. So what you can do is add my email address to your contacts folder, And that helps a lot to tell your email provider, hey, this is a trusted one. Please put it in the place that I'm going to see. And if it gets put into a different folder, you know, keep dragging it to the folder that you want it to be in, and that can help too. So they're helping us try to keep the spam out, but they're also making a lot more work for me when I'm trying to find it. So there are some tricks to tell your email provider, keep that there for me. Keep it in a place that I can see it. So yeah, those are usually coming out on Mondays. And from now until the end of this year, each week I'll send you some sort of botanically inspired gift giving idea, whether it be a recipe of something you can make. I do have things that I'm sharing with people too, that, hey, if you don't want to make this thing, if you don't have the time or the desire, you know, or the interest to make that particular thing, but you do want it, here's the place where you could potentially purchase it. So I do have some places, some links that I do share that, you know, you can purchase some of these things as well, if that is something that you need. I can't always make everything either, so I do purchase things from other places myself. Like the aloe vera water, gel, or aloe vera juice. I don't make that myself. I don't trust myself. Aloe vera has latex in it that can actually give you severe, severe exiting of things. You don't really need that much stuff coming out of you. A laxative. You don't need that much of a laxative. So yeah. What else is going on? So what else do I want to share? I want to share with you that I just did an interview with Jessie Wolf Harden, and that podcast is coming out very soon as I can process it. Please check that out. If you're not familiar with Jessie Wolf Harden, he and his partner Kiva Rose, they are the co-producers, the co-authors of the Plant Healer magazine. Well, there's many authors in there, but they run that Plant Healer magazine, and they do the Good Medicine Confluence as well. What else? They have so many ebooks out there. They're very they've been in the herbal community for decades. So that interview is amazing. It's all about rewilding, plant connection, rewilding, herbalism, and we span all sorts of topics in that podcast. So the other podcast that's coming soon, and I haven't yet recorded it. I'm recording it today. That's going to be with Wendy McCoon's genius, who wrote Plants Have So... No, she didn't write it. She's the editor for this. Her mother wrote it. Plants Have So Much to Give Us. All we have to do is ask. And the author of this one, Our Knowledge is Not Primitive, Decolonizing Anishinaabe Botanical Teachings, which we'll be talking about in the podcast. So that one's coming up, and I have some other guests that I'm lining up too. So if you have any ideas of guests that you would like to hear from, you know, put it in the comments here, send me a message or something. Let me know who else you would like to hear from. You know, I'm willing to interview people that aren't like necessarily well known in the herbal community. I'm looking for all sorts of guests to be on here too. So I know some of you watching, I might ask you to be a guest too, because we all have something to share. So yeah, those are coming up, those podcasts. And then November 16th is the free webinar, Learning Herbal Wisdom with Archetypes, Liberating the Healer, Priestess, and Witch. So we're already started in our Facebook group doing some things over there, getting to know each other. I'm posting some things over there too. So in order to get that link, you got to sign up for Learning Herbal Wisdom with the Archetypes. And I've posted the link in various places, and I'll do so again in the comments. I'm also sending information out about it through my email list too. And what else am I doing? That one is coming up. I have been playing around in TikTok, so if you want to come find me in TikTok, if you're a TikToker, I'm just at Erin LaFaive in TikTok, just playing with that platform. It's a little bit, it's a fun platform to use. It's a little easier to make video in there than it is in Instagram, where I'm also on Instagram and YouTube. and yeah, Facebook. So just trying the different platforms because they each do a little bit of a different thing. And I'm trying not to do all of the things and be in too many spots because, you know, you would think, oh, you know how to make a TikTok. That means it's easy to be in Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. But they all have their own little rules and their own little tools. So I have to, you know, start to be an expert in all of them. And sometimes I don't want to be. I just want to be with the plants. So anyways, I kind of show up in each one a little bit differently because they have different tools. So, and the podcast is up, and I know it's in Apple iTunes, it's in Spotify, Anchor, and there's some other platforms that it's on too that I don't always know that they pick it up on. So once in a while I'll discover my podcast episode somewhere else that I didn't know about the platform. So it's out there. All right. Oh, we already have a suggestion for podcast interview. Elizabeth Guthrie, the empathic herbalist. Good one. That's a good one. I don't know much about Elizabeth Guthrie, but I love that. I love learning about new people. Let's see. Purple tea. Do you have a recipe for the purple tea blend from a previous newsletter? Oh, the shiso one. Yes, I know what you're talking about. That is a good one that I could share as well. Again, I don't have measurements for that one. I just like put things together. So, yeah, I would have to play around with the measurements on that one. We'll see if I can get to that. Else, we have any other questions? Oh, yeah. Michelle says, that's a proper teapot. Yes, it is like the proper teapot. What I think of in my mind is like a teapot. Yeah. Cool. All right. I don't see any other questions here or anything like that. Well, thanks for joining me. I think I've been here for 30 minutes already. I had a lot of things to share today. And I'll be back next Friday and doing another What's in My Teacup. We'll see what I come up with. Today I had a lot of things in my teacup and mason jars. So I'm not changing the title to What's in My Mason Jar. We'll just stick with What's in My Teacup. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.